Hey there guys, it's Will again. Today I'm going to be talking about GSAs. And a GSA is a gay straight alliance and a group of people that come together that support either the GLBT community or just are a part of it, I guess. I can't get much simpler than that, right? Anyways, it's a more or less like a school type function thing. I mean, they can go outside of like school and into your community and such, but mainly I've heard of them just in schools and stuff as like a club or whatever. And that was really weird. Club. Like a club or whatever. In my school it's like an unofficial club just because my school doesn't pay for it, so it's just like it's there. It's like French club or Spanish club or I don't know, maybe? I don't know. Something like that anyways. Basically, at mine, I made mine this year. My school didn't have one before this year, and personally, I thought it was going to be really hard. I mean, think about it. Like, it was insane for me just because I'm not very outgoing at my school. I mean, I do dress insanely, and I've gotten used to being noticed and looked at and stuff a lot more than I was last year, but anyways, besides that, just making one is actually really easy. Basically, look inside your, like, planner or student handbook or, you know, whatever, they give you in the beginning of the year. You know, they usually give you something with all the rules and dress code and stuff like that in it. But, yeah, so just look in there, and that's what I did. First off, I was like, what do I have to do? And I'm lazy and I don't really notice things very well. I mean, I could probably walk past a building looking for it and be like, oh, where is that? Anyway, so I went up and asked my, like, favorite teacher in the beginning of the year that just, like, I attached onto like that. She was just awesome. See, Will, high five. And I asked her, like, what I had to do to, like, make a club, you know? Make a GSA or something. And she was like, oh, well, all you have to do is talk to the principal and just stuff like that. And so I went up to my principal and I asked him what I had to do, and basically all I had to do was I had to write up a code of conduct, which are like, you know, just rules and stuff, like, just like rules, like one of my main rules was the confidentiality clause, which is anything that is said in the GSA doesn't go outside of it. So it's just to form trust, and that's really good in this, just because if people do come and they're not out of the closet, or they're afraid that their friends might not want to, like, be their friends anymore because they support, you know, the GLBT community, or are just in the closet and don't want to come out, it's really important for that. And that was my main focus. And then I just threw in a couple other ones, like, I don't know. I don't really remember what I put in there. I haven't seen the thing since I gave it to him. So that's probably a bad thing, right? Maybe. Anyway, well, I just set it up and I wrote a big paper on why I wanted it and why it was a good idea, and he was all for it. He's just like, you just gotta do the paperwork and that's it, right? And I was like, okay. So I wrote up everything, and then within a week I gave it to him, and we had it. Oh, and I had to get I had to get at least one teacher to sponsor me, and I got two, just because I had two teachers that I really, really liked this year, and Mrs. McKibben and C. Will. Love you guys. Okay. Yeah, so for the first couple of meetings that we had, there wasn't much there. I mean, we tried to establish some, like, foundations, so, like, we got a governmental system or whatever, you know, like a president, vice president, and just people to run the meetings, and a treasurer to handle the money, and a secretary to take notes about the meetings and stuff. But none of that really worked out because of school stuff, you know, like a lot of my friends that joined are in robotics, so they couldn't make any of the meetings because robotics was just all year, and I was like, well, that sucks, right? But yeah, so we have that, and I was unanimously named Presidente, so yeah. First year's for thing is always really hard, I think, just because this year, I mean, it was sort of productive, you know, but it wasn't, like, super what I wanted it to be. So, I'm gonna work on that next year. Anywho, as far as, like, what we do in them, I like to do discussions because I think they're just a way to get a bunch of people in the group to participate and feel like they can talk and do whatever. And my first discussion was over bisexuality. And that is a very touchy subject for a lot of people, and there are different views on it, and I could go to an entire video talking about this, but I'll save that for somebody else, or for another day, or whatever. So, I really wish I had videotaped it, because that would have been just dandy. But anyways, back to GSAs. That was a really good discussion, because everyone had something to say about it. And the next one I had was about transgender, but I didn't have that many people, and I didn't really know much about it. I mean, I got what I got off of Google, and that's about it. As far as people go that come to every meeting, I come to every meeting, except for one, because I completely forgot about it. Not having a good Monday, and that's when we have our meetings after school on every Monday. By the way, if you go to my school, come, because it'd be just mainly we've been making posters just to advertise it, because our announcements, you know, no one hears them. Just like, oh, it gets tossed around the school sometimes, but whatever. So as far as that goes, as far as people go, I come, and then my best friend comes, and then this other kid comes, and we have about 3 people every meeting, and we just discuss what we're going to do in the next meeting if people come. And then we have a range between, I'd say about 4 to 5 people who come, you know, like, we don't have a lot. I mean, we've probably had like a maximum of like 12 members at a time, but that's about it. Yeah. And I think that's pretty good just for our first year. Next year, I'm hoping to get a lot more people and get it out there and, you know, get this thing going and such. If you have any questions on how to make a GSA, the GLESN or GLESN, off the top of my head, I don't remember, and I didn't make notes or a script for this video, which was probably a really bad thing. So, link to gay websites that I found out how to make a GSA and what to do in them will be in the down bar. And if you have any further questions on how to make a GSA or anything of the sorts, or what to do in them and such, visit the website or message us and we will help you and such. My personal email is in the down bar if you'd like to contact me personally. Yeah, so thank you for watching, comment, rate, subscribe. GLBTfuture loves you. Bye. Done.